we're here.
But you were really busy before that. I don't even know where to start with you. Okay, you've been doing movie after movie. You have a role in the Fast and Furious?
I actually had a very small role. I was
There's no such thing as
well, I was a hot race girl, and I had like a very quick cameo with Bad Bunny. So if
and you can't put the picture out, can you?
It has been like postponed now because of everything is pretty much shut down. So it was supposed to come out in May of 2020, but now is all the way till April 2021, I believe.
Well, that's good. They're going to make it a big premiere. I'm glad they're going to take their time with it, not rush it out, so that when it comes out, we can all go to the theater and see it.
Exactly. That's what I thought too, because I'm like, it's nice to watch it at home, but you want that experience. You want to go out, get the popcorn, the soda.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm like, no soda allowed with me right now. But
girl, I would be like the trash girl on the set just to be on the Fast and the Furious. Like that is like my type of like.
Oh my God!
I would be starstruck. How did you do it?
You would be hot. A hot one too.
Yeah, get this freak out of here. She's starstruck. How did you handle that?
It was. I mean, I wasn't like half naked or anything like that. I actually looked like a gangster, like a Latina, little swaggy chola in a way. That's what I don't know. People were like, "Oh, I like your outfit," because I posted a photo on Instagram of my wardrobe.
Oh, they let you?
However,
girl.
So it's a surprised one, you know what I mean? It's a surprised one. I didn't tag anybody, so I probably shouldn't have said this. Uh-oh.
I'm sure you're fine. So who did you get to hang out with when you were on set?
I saw Tyrese there.
Ooh.
He was there. Even though he wasn't filming when, we were shooting the scenes, but he was there on set, so he was probably checking everything out. I worked as a background, but it was a super dope experience. Being in a multi-million-dollar set and being
you
around.
You get IMDb credit, right?
I do, yeah.
Perfect.
I do. So that's even, that's awesome.
Did you have to sign a lot of like non-disclosures for this one?
Yes. So I really can't be talking much about it.
No, that's fine. We want to be surprised anyway. How'd you get the role?
I saw this casting post that one of my really good friends who I've worked with in a few of other small projects locally, he sent me, shout out to Danny, he sent me a casting audition from some post on Instagram, and he forwarded it to me. He was like, "Hey, you should audition for this, or you should enter, or email them." And I was like, "Oh, cool! Like, I'll do it. Why not?" I was like, "I'm not gonna get anything. I'm not even gonna get a response. Like, I've done that in the past, and it's like I never get a response at all. So I'm like, it's worth a try. If I don't try it, I'll never know."
Right.
So then so they were asking for like information plus like a headshot, and I didn't have a headshot, so I just sent them a selfie. I tried to put the light on and like.
Girl, how do you not have a headshot?
I didn't have it at the moment.
Okay.
But now I've been working on that, so now I have a little bit more. And then I sent it to them, and I kid you not, I got a response like this. Like as soon as I sent it, I feel like they were in front of their computer or something, because I'm like, they were like, "Oh yeah, are you available for blah blah blah?" And I'm like, "What?"
Did you have to go down to audition, or was it a video audition?
No, it wasn't even an audition. It was they were needing background for this production and for the movie to be on set, and they were going to film like a month after they were picking. So they were like, they were needing, some people, but they did tell us when we were on set that they only selected like 200 out of like thousands of submissions.
I can only imagine.
So I'm like, oh wow, okay, I feel kind of special. I thought that, everyone's in, but I guess not.
Oh
So
my.
that's
So
pretty
tell
cool.
us a little bit about your career because you do radio, you do movies. What's your thing?
Yeah, well, I mean, I love radio. Radio was the first thing in my life, pretty much, and I fell in love with it.
How'd you
It
get into
opened
it?
many, many doors for me. I was an intern at 18, right out of high school. 2 years as an intern, and then at 20, I got my promotions as a morning show producer and midday show host. So I host my midday show. Um, just recently, last year, we got syndicated in Bakersfield, so now I have like two shows. One in Fresno, Central Cali, and then the other one in Kern County, Bakersfield. So that's pretty nice.
Wow. So it's another
So
radio
that,
show in Bakersfield?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh,
So
I'm going
we
to tell my
have,
friends out there they got to tune in.
they have to. But yeah, I've been involved in so many other different projects. Like I just recently got done filming a movie a couple months ago, late 2019 for State of Consciousness, and this was a bigger project for me because I was the lead role. So that was an amazing experience too.
How
And
was
so
it?
it was so great. It was really, really great because this is like to me, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is my shot. I can't screw it up,
What
This
was
is
your character
my
like? Tell us
first.
about your character.
Well, she was in her early 30s. She's in her early 30s, and she's a lawyer. So
You're
she
so
comes from like a
young.
she, she comes from a really good family, and she's the heiress of her father's fortune. But I can really relate to her because she's very independent, like a hustler, and everything that she has, she's worked hard for. And she comes into this law firm. She's new to it, and well, there's some guy who grabbed she grabbed his attention, and he really wants her just for him. And he's had some history of him like hypnotizing people because he's worked with like a
I was going to
hypnotist
ask if he was a
before.
bad boy. It sounded like that's where it was going.
So then I have a love interest in there, and I'm really into this guy, but the guy who really wants me for him is like this is not gonna happen. This love thing that y'all got going on, not on my watch. So yeah, and then fast forward.
Do you get to make out with anybody?
No, no. But there is some type of like tension. There's like love scenes everywhere, but it's pretty PG-13.
Nice. Where can we see this and when's it going to come out? Do we know?
It's post-production at the moment, so stay tuned.
So that's good. Your radio show's going so well. And what's it about for people who don't know? Who do you really interview? I know you've done a lot of musicians and stuff. Is that the main focus, or you've interviewed everybody?
Well, just a little bit of everything. Mainly is artists,
Okay.
recording artists, anybody who's promoting their music, even the bigger names as well. And if we have like a certain event or community event too, we bring in nonprofit organizations to come and get an interview with us to spread the message, and just anybody that needs that help. But we're pretty involved in the community, so we do have anybody who needs to spread a certain message or get a message across, come down, and we'll spread the word. Use our
So
platform.
how do you do two different towns like this? How often do you have to go to Bakersfield to film that show?
Well, what's really cool about it is that we broadcast from Fresno, so
Oh, so you do double
one
duty
of
in
my
Fresno.
yeah, one of my shows will be broadcasted here, and I broadcast from here to Bakersfield as
Is it
well.
still live or is it pre-recorded?
It's live, yeah.
That's so exciting. So from doing radio, you made the transition to acting?
Yeah, so what's really cool about radio is that they're very supportive with my side projects and what I do. And from my show, if I have to film that same day, I go straight to set. So, I'm pretty busy, and I miss it so much because we're sheltered in place, so we really can't be around people right now, or be on set like that.
Right.
Yeah.
So what was the first gig you got, and when was that?
With acting?
Acting-wise.
My first one, I filmed a trailer for Tremendum Pictures. They are the creators of The Gallows, is the horror film. And shout out Chris and Travis. But I did a small trailer called Secondhand. It's for a project. So that was my first time being on set and in front of cameras like that. As far as acting, and my second one was for Catch 57, which is a short film that I filmed, and it's
which you can catch on Amazon Prime, people.
Yes, Amazon Prime.
So what was your favorite of all the stuff that you've done? You've done a lot in a small period of time.
My favorite, for
acting,
right? My favorite, they're all my favorite, but I think I have to say, State of Consciousness, because that was my major role, and I had to literally memorize a pack of pages.
How was that? Because you're very good on the fly. That's kind of what radio is and what you do, and you have that good personality. Is it hard when all of a sudden you have lines and it's okay, perform?
Because I feel like I have a very bubbly personality, and I'm super high spirited. So my character was very mellow, very not as loud and outgoing. She was actually kind of in a way shy. So that's me as oh snap. Wish me luck. Hopefully I don't laugh or smile as much like that,
because you're kind of playing older than you are.
Yeah. But she's just very you can't mess with me, and I don't know. I just loved playing her. She was amazing, and it was really crazy when being on set, because since I had so many lines to memorize and so many wardrobe changes that I had to do in between scenes, I had 7 or 8
wardrobe
outfits
changes
that I changed
wow.
into. Yeah,
because it's a feature film.
Yes.
And
yes,
this is your first feature film? Well, I know you did the Fast and the Furious, but
yeah, with a major role, this
right.
is definitely my biggest. But yeah, in between scenes, I would do one outfit change, obviously, and then literally as soon as that was done, had to run, because it was scene after scene after scene after scene. I had scene after scene, and I wouldn't really have a break. They gave me 3 to 4 minute break, and so I had to for some of them I had to have my hair down, and then for the others my hair up in a bun.
That's such a pain.
So I had 4 girls changing me, undressing me, and
it takes a village.
Yes, it takes a village. So
nice.
Oh my gosh, I miss them so much, and I miss that rush. It felt so great.
So what's your goal from here? Do you ever plan on moving to Los Angeles? Do you have, what's your the long term that you're I'd really want this to be the end game?
Well, I have I just created a movement right now. It's called Lead with Love Movement. So we're focused on, a lot of positivity.
What's that? Lead with Love Movement.
It's a movement that I just created to, embrace self-love, but not just that, but also for the people who are leaders, who are always positive, who love to encourage others with whatever they do. So always spreading that positive message and spreading love to others. So
more for leaders to take a step back and like really embrace their inner selves.
Yes.
Okay, that's
yes.
nice. I want to be part of the movement. Where do I sign up?
Of course. Well, you can definitely start by following on Instagram. It's called @LeadWithLoveMovement.
Oh, perfect. Okay, so anybody can just sign up, and then we're supposed to tag you or something, or tag the movement?
Yeah, so, I have merch out too. So I'm barely starting to build it. And so far I've had an amazing response from people.
That's awesome.
They're joining it and they're following it, and they're all for it. And I'm just excited for it because I want to do more, maybe even get like community leaders involved as well. I'm going to be doing some Instagram lives there from influencers with a bigger following too, and women who are just empowering other women and doing so much for themselves and work so hard too. So some of these girls are hosts, like TV hosts, they're models, they're artists, they're entrepreneurs, they're lady bosses. So I feel like I really want to build up on that because it's really important for us women to stick together,
Right.
We're all doing so much.
Then that's you. You're every time I see you, you have a smile. You're fun to be around. I'm like, yay, Kimmy's here. We can party now. But like fun, like just like you said, the leader party, the having fun. And then I remember when you were on my last show, you said you want to empower Latinas and be that voice. So this is perfect. You actually create a movement.
Absolutely. And I had this in the back of my head or the back of my mind for years, but honestly I never knew how to start it. And I'm like, well, who am I? What really represents me? And what type of message am I trying to put out there? Because I don't just want to start something and not be passionate about it,
Right.
So and so then I came up with Lead with Love, because I consider myself a leader and I also love hard. And so I feel like those two go together. And not just that, but it spreads like a positive message. When you hear like Lead with Love, it's like, okay, love, period, is already a positive thing. But yeah, and it's all about like staying humble too. Anybody who is working for something, it's more of a purpose-driven culture for me, and that's what I really want to embrace.
That sounds amazing. So everyone needs to sign up. Is Lead with Love on Instagram? What other platforms can we follow that on?
It's Lead with Love Movement on Instagram.
Okay.
And on Facebook as well. There's a fan page that I just created. So go like the page.
Definitely.
And I'm just excited for it. We're just getting started, and I want to get a few people involved in it, but I'm still trying to put my vision together. But as I go, it's like it just starts to come to life. So. And
is this mainly going to be? I know it seems like a worldwide movement. Are you going to do a lot of California stuff, like promotions, since these are your ties in Cali?
Yes, and that's definitely the goal, because California is my state. It's my home state. So I want to do a lot of possibly even like women's seminars, which is a goal of mine and has always been a dream of mine, to just go from like city to city and host the seminars for women. Yeah.
I would love that. No, I'm definitely super passionate to get started with this, and I know a lot of local politicians, so if you want some to like embrace this, I'll hook you up with their names and numbers.
Absolutely. And at the end of the day, is to come together, unity, and to unite and to bring peace to our communities, and just spread that positive message and spread love. And I feel like now more than ever with this, with everything that's happening, there's just so much negativity online, offline, and since we're all home right now scrolling through just different messages that really don't make you feel that great. So I feel like I want to change that.
I like that. Yeah, I sometimes it lets me down too to see a negative post, and then it lifts me up to see a positive one. So this could be a big change, just those little changes and hosting positive things.
Exactly. And I think it all starts with us. And
what have you learned out of all of this? What was like the big thing you learned since this happened, or pandemic?
Well, I think well, staying like, being sheltered in place, it can, and this change can really mess with your mental health in a way, because you really have nowhere to go. Like, there's no way out, right? But then I realized that we have to learn to adapt to new changes, and we're not used to being uncomfortable, so we need to get used to being uncomfortable, because if we don't, then we'll never grow. And I feel like for some people, like, they're not really taking this to where you can learn so many different things. They're not taking it too serious to where you can be a whole different person when you get out of here, in a good way, though. Right. Because you can take this time to, I don't know, go online and look at some tutorials to learn how to cook, learn a new skill, learn how to dance. Maybe this is your time to write your thoughts out and, make a book, or, start a YouTube channel. And I think I want to get more into that, too.
Yeah, you're too pretty to be on radio. Can you imagine? Yeah,
I have a YouTube channel. I have a YouTube channel.
Oh, you do?
It's yeah.
Where have I been? What's your YouTube channel?
YouTube.com/it's Kimmy, ITSKIMMIE.
I'm gonna subscribe.
Girl, do it, please.
I thought I was keeping up with Kimmy, and I have not been keeping up with Kimmy. Oh, I also want to point out you model as well.
Yeah, so I was I did a little bit of modeling. I did pageantry as well.
Oh yeah, tell us about that. What was the pageant that I saw you in with the sash and you won? Did you win?
So the one that I won was a national title, and it's for Miss Nuestra Belleza USA, and that was hosted in Las Vegas back in 2018. And it was my second pageant, because weeks prior to the one that I won, it was Miss California USA. So that one was a state pageant, and is with the Miss Universe organization. And I didn't place with the top 20, but I did end up taking home an award, and they only gave out like 3 or 4 awards that night. And it was a Producer's Choice Award, so that was like a major.
That means your personality rocked, huh?
That's like, I guess so. Because production chose me. If it was,
I love that.
I was gonna be the winner. What I'm saying? No, but
so after not really winning the California thing, you're like, I'm gonna go into a national pageant, and then you kicked butt.
Yeah, right after.
That's awesome.
But just being there, it was just an amazing experience. I met so many women, and a lot of them with the same passions, the same goals, career oriented. So that was amazing, because we still keep in contact.
That's
some of
so
them are
cool.
models,
and this is going to help with your new business, your movement.
Yeah, and I actually reached out to a few of them, and they're like, "Girl, yeah, I'm definitely supporting." So that was so heartwarming, and it's a sisterhood, and that's what I love about it.
How did it feel to win?
The national pageant, it felt cool, because
were you shocked?
I'm like, wow, this for kind of like my first time trying pageantry, and for me to win the second time, I was like,
that is so cool.
Hard work paid off.
Was it nerve-wracking? Were you shocked, surprised? Like, did you cry like everybody cries?
I got emotional, and yeah, I did actually. And I think I cried, because I was happy, and obviously it felt an accomplishment, but because also my mom couldn't make it. So I'm like, oh, I wish my mommy was here.
Oh no.
I know. She stayed back home. She couldn't go that weekend because she was working. So, but it's cool, because I called her right away, and I was like, Mom, guess what? I won the crown. She was like, what?
That is so amazing. Was it televised?
No, but it was streamed.
Okay.
It was streamed. Yeah.
Did the print work come afterwards, or have you been doing print work for a while? Because I've seen your print work modeling as well.
It was
I know you did some modeling for one of my childhood friends, Jason Hudson.
Yeah.
How was it working with him?
He's so great.
I've never seen a bad picture from him, so.
Girl, not at all. He took some headshots of me, so dope. Like, I'm like, you know, he knows how to really get the angles. He knows how to really get the lighting together, and that's so dope. And I just love working with talented people like him. So
I know he's been trying to set one up, but he moved to Vegas. So I'm like,
he did. And you know, his girl actually did my makeup, so she went all out on me.
Nice. So it was like the team.
Yes, I'm like, you know, I need y'all to come with me
every day
when I go and get events together. Yeah.
How amazing. Well, I'm so excited to see everything you keep doing. We're going to follow you on Instagram, your personal Instagram, which is the Kimmy one. What is it?
Yeah, Kimberly KJM.
Okay, so that's
K-I-M. Yeah, KIMBERLY KJM.
And then the movement.
It's at Lead with Love Movement, so that's LEADWITHLOVEMOVEMENT.
So those are the two ones you gotta be following and keeping up.
I hope I spelled it right. That's spelling bee up in here.
No, I love it. We gotta follow you.
Please delete it. Cut.
No, well, we'll put that up too. No, we're excited to see what you're doing. It's awesome. Like, you never stop. It's every year, every like week or month, there's something going on with you. That's super cool.
Well, I mean, you know, I want to say, like, I think in life you just have to have goals. Like, you know, I feel like for me, I have to have something to look forward to, because if I don't, then I go crazy. Like, I feel like my world is shutting down, and I think that's when depression comes along, and then your mental health is not all there, and we have to take care of ourselves, period. But setting goals and looking forward to something really gives you that motivation. And, you know, right now I don't have events that are out in public, and I'm used to having like public events. So I think I'm staying busy with my YouTube channel, with my movement now. And
how often do you post on the YouTube channel?
Not as much.
Okay, but we can sign up for the notifications, right?
Yes, subscribe please, because I'm going to eventually be posting consistently too, because I feel like as soon as I post my first video, which is my intro video, I'm gonna be consistent with it.
Nice. And Kimmy, do you sing?
In the shower and in my car.
Oh no, you just look like a girl that would sing. But you never sing? There's no videos of you out singing?
Yeah.
I feel like I saw one. Am I just making some effort to see one?
There are videos.
You sing, don't you? You're one of those modest people, aren't you?
I can try. I mean, I never really actually gave it a chance like that, but I can do karaoke. And if y'all like my voice, tell me, because if y'all do, then I'm gonna put out a CD or something.
I know. We're gonna get a movie with singing in it.
And you know, just add that to my resume. I mean, what else?
Big resume you got. Kim, thanks so much for hanging out with us. Midday with Kimmy's. We're going to pay attention to that, the YouTube, and the movement. Thank you so much, girl.
Thank you. Also, check out my website, KimberlyMarquez.com.
Do you update it enough?
Yes, blog posts. There's, you know, my gallery is updated as well, and I'm going to be having a lot of merch coming.
Yay, KimberlyMarquez.com. Stay tuned. Thanks, girl.
Thank you, babe.
They did me wrong, but you respected me.
Welcome to the Sparkle Show. With us, we have Cyrus from the real world. Hey, Cyrus, how are you?
Hey, I'm good, girl. How are you?
I am good. You have been so busy. Tell us what you've been up to since you've been on the real world.
You know, just trying to stay busy. I mean, it's all about reinventing yourself and kind of keeping the party going, right?
Of course. And you're a style person. What's with the style and stuff? Tell us what you got going on.
Oh, God. You know, I was a jewelry designer. I always design jewelry and clothing and so forth. And so I'm working on a couple new clothing lines right now. The newest one will be called basically B4, so to be Beach. Black Beach Bros brand is what it is. And so it's a bunch of brothers that get down at the beach. And, I'm quite fond of the beach. I grew up surfing, playing ball at the beach. The beach is me. And I think we're a different breed of brother. I had an accident before college. Tried to surf the wedge, if you're familiar. And got pitched and messed up some vertebrae in my neck. It's not a good scene.
What do I do to get a Cyrus original piece like that, your jewelry? I would love that necklace.
Oh, this is actually my boy made this for me. This is Double Cross Jewelry, my man Travis Walker. I grew up with him. He was a little badass punk rock fool from Malibu that I grew up with. And this is one of his pieces.
Oh, nice. You've made pieces like that.
Similar, but not this expensive. It's one of those real pieces. It's got some weight on it.
Nice. So when is that clothing line coming out?
I'm going to drop it really soon. We're going through all this stuff right now, so I'm just creating new designs and dropping different pieces. Was working on a scarf right now for, having to wear stuff out and cover your face all the time. So I was putting together a couple of concept pieces. This is one of them I was doing.
Ooh, nice.
Little concept piece of the bandana where you can fold it back and just have the piece over your face, or it drops off and does the full neck piece. Just working on a little something like that.
Where can I get those?
I'll put them up on my Instagram sooner or later. I'm just, like I said, it's just something I'm just now starting to do.
You can't show us something like that and not deliver. Come on, we gotta know where we can get them now.
Well, those are all one-of-a-kind pieces too. So for me, I have to just figure it out and get them out there.
Nice. Okay, so the real world, you have the funniest audition story in the world. You have to share your audition story.
Yeah, I was basically just trying to get a gig. After college, I wasn't able to find the job that I wanted. And,
what did you want to do?
Well, what didn't I want to do? I wanted to teach and coach, to be honest. But it wasn't my, it's me, but it wasn't me, if that makes any sense. And so I was just looking for something I could do and, help out. I was given a break, and I wanted to give some other kids a break, and that was the easiest way to do it.
What did you go to college for?
Say it again?
What did you go to college for?
I went to college. I majored in communications, and I minored in child psychology.
Oh, wow.
And so, yeah, I wanted to teach and coach. That's awesome. What I wanted to do. Yeah.
So, when you went to the auditions, you wanted a different job, right? You weren't even trying to be in the mix.
Yeah, I wasn't auditioning to be on the show. I was trying to just get a job behind the scenes and work as a casting assistant. And in the process, I ended up telling my life story, basically. And in doing so, they asked me if I wanted to be on the show. But I literally did everything you could possibly do wrong in an interview, but it ended up being right for the show.
What was your life story?
It's a long story, man. It took me about 3.5 hours to tell that.
They spent that much time with you?
Yeah, that's kind of how, I guess in the beginning when they started the interview off, I wasn't sure where it was going, what I needed to do, and then it got to the point where I was like, hold on, there's something here. Finally, I'm getting a break. Like, they want me for something, and so my mind kind of went back, and I figured, why not give them all of me from day one until then? So I literally told them how I was born and brought them from that moment all the way up until where we were sitting in that room.
You gotta share. How were you born? What was so exciting about it?
Well, I'm old, and so back in the day, and I was born in the South, I guess back in the day they had two different ambulances, a black one which was for funerals and so forth, and a white one which was for the hospital. It was on a Sunday, and my mom went into labor, and we took off down this dirt road trying to get to the big city part of Atlanta, I guess, and we gave out of gas. And mom said I popped out like a bottle of champagne, literally right there. I popped out, my dad passes out, my grandma basically delivers me, and we giving out of gas, and so the driver flagged down the car coming down the dirt road, and we all jumped in it and took off from there.
That is one crazy story.
They thought I was going to die, actually. Like I said before, my head's flat in the back, and mom swears it's because they laid me down in some random person's car on the center console thing. As we drive to to the hospital, we get there. She said they pretty much cut the cord in the parking lot because they thought I was going to die, and I went in before she did. And here I am today.
That's an awesome story. So you were living in Atlanta when you auditioned for the Real World Atlanta?
No. So we were in Atlanta. I'm sorry. The story goes we were in Atlanta for just a few years. By the time I was in kindergarten, we were already living in Santa Monica, California. So
you are a Cali boy.
Huh?
You are a Cali boy then. You were born in.
Oh, clearly.
Yeah.
It never rains in Cali, but right now it's raining. I don't know if you can hear that. And I'm standing outside on the back porch, but it is definitely raining right now.
So you auditioned in LA, and it was a Real World Boston?
Yeah, so I grew up in Santa Monica, Santa Monica Unified School District. I went to Santa Monica High School, played a year ball at Santa Monica College, and was back in my hometown trying to find a job. And I couldn't find a job. And so I met these guys at the basketball court, and they were sick of hearing me bitch about not being able to find a job. And they basically threw me a crumb and wanted me to go in for this interview to be a casting assistant with MTV, or Beat Murray Productions, should I say, the production company. And they brought me in.
Wasn't when their office was in Van Nuys?
Yes, it was in Van Nuys.
By the gym? Yeah, it was on top of the gym?
No.
Not there yet, okay.
It was its own standing building by itself. So there was nothing else there. I remember like it was yesterday. It was 116 degrees outside. I was in the old school 1989 steel blue Dodge Omni with no AC.
Did they see that when you rolled up?
Hell yeah, they saw me pull up. I was sweating. The story went.
Oh my.
So I got to the corner and I banked the left and figured I'd go down the street a little bit, park and change because it was so hot. I didn't have any AC, so I took all my clothes off and had on my wife beater and my drawers. And so I found the building. I was actually on time. Changed real quick outside the car. Didn't know that they were watching me change from inside the studio. And as I walked up, before I even pushed the button, they said, "Cyrus, come on in, come up the stairs, make a right, and go to the end of the hallway." I'm like, what?
It was like Oz just talking to you. Where are they coming from?
Yeah, it was, that's pretty much how it was. And so, I went up and sat down, and there was 5 people interviewing me. And, for a casting assistant position, it's not that serious. I'm copies, running to the store, running here, running there. That's all I'm doing, picking up talent maybe. And they're like, I'm like, there's 5 people in it. This is crazy. I was like, okay. And then she started asking me questions, and then she goes, she wanted me to go and type up this business letter. I was like, shit. Busted out my 2 typing fingers, packed away in this little room down the hallway. And it took me a while to figure it out, but I got it done. And upon getting it done, I couldn't figure out how to make it print. Ladies walking down the hallway, and I was like, "Excuse me, honey, but you have one option, and your option is to come in here and help me. You need to come help, brother. I'm desperate right now." And she starts laughing. She comes in. I was like, "It's in there. Just make it print." She hits the button. Boom, the damn thing prints. I was like, "Thank you," and we exchanged phone numbers.
Did you end up dating her?
I just met her, and so I had to go get cleaned up a little bit because I was sweating profusely. I'm a sweater, and had on this 3-piece suit, and I was nervous because I couldn't get it done. So I went to the bathroom real quick, dabbed everything off, got right, went back in the room.
You changed into your 3-piece suit in the parking lot? That's a talent.
Yes, had to. I needed a job. Like, you don't understand. I would say this. I was probably at the lowest point in my life, and some people know this, but. Not saying I was going to commit suicide, but I understood why people would commit suicide. I'd done everything society told me to do and excelled at everything they wanted me to do. I was so well connected in the community, and I couldn't get a fucking job. What the fuck? What do I
understand that.
But this is back then. Jobs were easier to come by back then than they are now, I think. And so I'm in this situation. Here I am being a standout athlete. In the community my entire life, knowing people, celebrities, millionaires, and all that shit in high school when you can't get a fucking job. And I was like, okay. So I basically had a breakdown on camera during my interview. I just threw up everything.
Did you tell them how bad you needed that job?
Yeah. I told them. I told there's nothing I did not tell them, literally. And so after going into detail, I watched them laugh, I watched them cry, and then they asked me if I wanted to go. Basically, I was leaving because she said I wasn't getting the job. So I had 3 resumes written up, one geared toward what I had done, which was just work with kids, one geared toward college and the things that I was wanting to do, and another was a list of 250 things that I would do for work. Just give me the job. And so, long story short, she's like, let me see your resume anyways. And when she said that, I was thinking, damn, I am not getting this job. So I just reached in the bag and grabbed her any sheet and just handed it to her. And she started checking it out. And fortunately, it was the one geared toward what I had done, which was work with kids all my life. And so she saw it in me, and she was just like asking me questions kind of geared in that direction. Little did I know that the Real World Boston was all about working with kids. And so, you know, there we have it. Like, I was going to do the show, and so they needed someone else to fill that void. So I didn't go through the traditional process of interviewing. I did that interview, and damn, the next thing I knew, I was in the semifinals. So I bypassed all that. So it was probably a good thing that I came along late like that.
So what do you mean that the Real World Boston was about working with kids? You guys had a job when you were on the show?
Well, the original premise of the Real World, well, not the original, but one of the early seasons, they started making you have a job or do something, do some kind of work while you're there to keep you engaged and have to. The more drama comes out when you have to work with the people you live with.
Oh, yeah.
If you will. And so that's kind of what they were doing. And so they had us, like, some of them worked at like a TV station, some worked at a radio station, and I got to work with kids.
That's awesome. Did
Which,
you keep
know,
in touch
was
with
when I
any of those kids from that time?
I run into some of the kids at clubs every now and again. You know, I've spent a large portion of the last 20 years touring the world, and a lot of people watch that show. And a lot of those kids are definitely grown up now, and I do run into them from time to time. I would tour a lot in Boston, pretty much done every nightclub you could imagine there. Nightclub, bar, restaurant, by the hundreds out there. So in doing so, you definitely run into those people, because a lot of people from Boston do not leave Boston. You know? So it's, you know, it's an interesting concept. You know, I was that party guy having a good time, and also trying to teach the kids. So it was interesting. It was definitely interesting.
And you kept your friendships with many of the castmates, right?
Well, I spoke on the show how Santa Monica was the best city in the world, and everyone denied it. And since that day, I would say 4 other cast members of the 7 actually lived in Santa Monica. So Jason bought a place there. He just moved out to the Valley, though. Elka was there, and Genesis was there, too. So we were all in Santa Monica for a while.
And weren't you in one of the weddings, one of the castmates' weddings?
Say it again?
Weren't you in one of the castmates' weddings?
I wasn't in the wedding, but I introduced Sean, his wife that he has now. Basically, I got him to talk to her. They met, but he was terrified to talk to her. They met on the challenge, and I coerced him into speaking to her. I set him up.
Oh, they're still together?
They have 9 kids.
So you did a great deed. The matchmakers.
He was a U.S. congressman. He was a U.S. congressman for Wisconsin for quite some time. He just resigned, and they have their 9th baby together. And she was also in the Real World too. So
did they name him Cyrus, one of the babies, one of the 9 babies?
Definitely not. Definitely not.
See, that's the one show you haven't done yet, Cyrus. You've never done a matchmaking show. I'm surprised.
I've been working on it. I worked behind the scenes for Millionaire Matchmaker.
Oh, really?
I don't know if I told you that last time.
No, what was that like?
I've casted for 40 different shows.
I knew that, but I didn't know. Would name some of them. Okay, Millionaire Matchmaker.
Real World, Road Rules, Who Wants to Date a Prince, Fear Factor.
I've always wanted to be on Fear Factor.
You ain't. I mean, you might be an athlete.
Don't act like that. I could do it.
So you would eat some bull nuts?
I have no problem. You know, the only thing that scares me about Fear Factor is unlocking doors underwater. Doing those where you unlock underwater. Yeah. I see that a lot. I think I'd be really bad at that. But everything else, I'm okay with.
Okay. I mean, it is what it is. I've seen and smelled some horrendous things that they show. I don't know. I mean, I do it honestly just to say I did it. Um, I bungeed from 30 stories into a ring of fire. Did that. And they messed up on that. I was on one of the challenges. They messed up, so I had to do it again. I had to do it twice. I was
Oh,
like the scapegoat. I was pissed. But I did it.
wow.
Yeah. They don't show you guys that stuff on the challenges when they mess up and it's their fault, so we got to redo it.
That's interesting.
Do over. Yeah, do over.
So are you still casting now?
I'm trying to get back in now. Like, I get calls all the time for random shows. I mean, there's so many different types of shows. What was the last one I did? I was trying to get another home improvement show, but I did Renovate Your Family. I did that for Life Swap and Extreme Home Makeover, Magic Johnson basketball show. I've done just so many random things when it comes to casting. And I also write shows myself too, so I've written several shows that I'm starting to get back out there now and pitch.
Did you ever
Everything
cast
from
yourself
games-
in the shows?
In one of the shows, I am the royalty. Yes, I'm the final. I do like a court type show that I've written. It's a court competition show though, so it's kind of both. And I am the royalty of the show, and so I have the final word. But all different types of show, from dating shows to I have a home improvement show too that I just wrote that I'm starting to pitch. My favorite called though. Stay on the lookout for One Roof because it's very relevant to things that are happening in the world right now, and I think it'll be an excellent show. So I'm actually pitching that.
So what's it going to be called?
Right now, the title is called One Roof.
And what's it about? A little bit that you can reveal at the moment?
Let's just say it'll be the only kind of show that is not casted for. It's just it's on the site casting and put into place right there, and yeah, it's just all that takes place under that one roof is all I can really say.
Is all the shows that you're writing, are they all reality shows?
Yes, but I'm also writing my book right now, which is an autobiography. So the full story that I was trying to tell you about how I got on the show, I have it all written out and ready to go soon.
And do we get all the juicy details of like...
It's going to be pretty juicy. I mean, it's going to be politically correct. And I'm one to not hide anything. I put it all out there. But at this stage of my life, I'm turning the corner. So who knows what lies on the other side. And having experienced all that I've experienced and gone through, you never know. I mean, I hosted Girls Gone Wild. I don't know if you saw that DVD, but, that sold over 4 million copies. And all those things are going to come up sooner or later. Whether that's good or bad, nowadays things are so risque, it's not even that big of a deal.
Right?
But they only brought me on to do that one DVD. So who knows?
But what's cool about you is you've done so many things since being on that one season. You've made this a career because then you went from show to show to show where you actually were competing in the challenges, and then you went into casting, and now you're writing. I mean, you stayed. Some people just went completely away from it, and you stayed in it.
Well, yeah, I tried to make it a lifestyle. Like one of the best things in life I think you can ever do is one, to work for yourself. But when work doesn't feel like work, I think that's amazing. And so I figured out how to parlay my lifestyle into money and revenue and to keep it going. And that's, that was one of my goals. I had long hair prior to going in for that interview, and I cut my hair off because I needed a better look. But once I realized I was going to be on the show, it was like, oh man, I'm going on the air. Like, this has got to be right. So shaved it all down because in 10 years, I look pretty much the same as I did then, as opposed to that. But it's been 20 years.
What did your family think when you got cast? You said, hey, I'm going to be on national, international TV.
My mom loved it. She was all for it. I was on Baywatch for a while. I had a few speaking roles on that back in the day.
Nice.
That was my summer job while I was in Hawaii. So I went to college in Hawaii. Once I finished up, the show was kind of going a different direction. I didn't get it, but I was up against Tracy Bingham, if you know who that is. That year she was Miss Black Barbie, and she's all humongo up in here and halo waist, and I had no chance. I mean, I probably looked pretty dope in that red Speedo back then, But it ain't going down like that now. I wasn't gonna beat her in that bikini she had on for sure.
Were there things that worried about your parents watching it? Because a lot of it was real at the time. You were really having an authentic life on camera, right? Back when you were
Well,
on
my
it?
mom had me at a really young age, and we were best friends. And there's nothing would be shocking to her. I've been on my own since 15 years of age, so my mom is just kind of like, whatever you see fit, do. You've always made me proud, and do what you got to do. So she was pumped about it. She loved it. They actually, going into the show, one of the first scenes was at her house, and they went through a little interview with her too.
Love
She's
it.
not the ham that I am, though. I'm like a honey glazed ham. She's not at all a camera ham like me, and so it was different for her, but it was cool. She went through the experience, and we survived. But she was, she had no problem with anything that I did on the show. She knew me better than anyone, and she knew I was going to go party my ass off.
What would shock us about the Real World your season? Was there something crazy going on behind the scenes we don't know about that you could talk about?
There's tons of stuff crazy going on behind the scenes.
What would be really shocking that you think?
Well, to start, when we first got there, we were supposed to have this, it was like this 3-story, it was a historical fireplace in the historical area in Boston, like 3 blocks behind Shears. But what happened was what we had on the 3rd story on the roof, we had this huge jacuzzi, I guess, with this outdoor misting garden. And where the fire pole was sealed off, so you couldn't slide. But there was also another door. No one knew where the door went to. Well, it went to the roof. And on the rooftop, we were supposed to have all that stuff, but it was the hoity-toity area, if you will, in Boston. And there's no visible entertainment. You can't have visible entertainment to the public or something like that. And someone up on the hill saw the jacuzzi, complained, shut that down before we even got to the house. And then we had an outdoor climbing wall that was going to be put inside. And someone stole the 18-wheeler with the whole wall on it before it even got a chance to get in the house. So we kind of got shysted ahead of time. But the jacuzzi would have definitely caused more drama in the house. Kind of glad it wasn't there. Jacuzzi in reality always means trouble. Jacuzzi, camera, and alcohol. You got nothing but drama. Once that happens, that's it.
So what's going on now? We're waiting for your book to come out. Do you have a title?
Tentatively,
what's it going to be?
The Gray Area. And the gray area basically means the way I live my life and the way people see life is always in black and white. And I like to think that I'm somewhere in the middle of that. Some people tripped out when they found out I surfed. And some people trip out when they find out just how I live my life. And, I'm a beach brother at heart. That's me. That's how I'll always be. You can't really change that. And a lot of people don't understand that. But it is what it is. So it's the gray area. I like to say somewhere between black and white and lifted up in the air is the gray area, and that's where I exist.
That's awesome. When can we expect this book about? Next year?
Well, I wrote it actually during the show. I started to write it, and I would have to give up X amount of ownership of it if they'd actually shown that and I'd put it out. So I ripped it up and started over. And in my writings right now, it's moving along pretty well. I'm writing about high school, about to finish up there now, and going into detail as much as possible. And it's not easy to do that when you're writing about yourself, I don't think. For me, it's really hard because there's so much stuff you want to tell and you can't tell everything. And so there's always going back and changing and adding and changing and shifting. So there's a lot that goes into that. And it's a tedious process. And, when you're on lockdown like this, get her done. So that's what I'm doing. Working.
So the book's coming out, the new clothing line, the new shows. Anything else exciting we should know about?
There's always something up my sleeve. I mean, right now we have the vodka, LA Water Vodka. Check it out. It's online right now. You can get it right now.
What do you mean LA Water Vodka?
It's called, you've been clubbing long enough, but they used to have a drink in the clubs in LA called LA Water.
Right.
Well, we have a vodka now, so we called it LA Water Vodka. Beautiful bottle. Looks very similar to some of our sports logos, to say the least. But it is so bomb. We got it all approved. It's out. It's on the market. It's phenomenal. I'll put it up against any other vodka taste test. Blind taste test. We definitely crushing people.
I wish I
And
still
that's
had the
great.
Shot Girl company. I'd be using that vodka.
Ah, yes. Well, it's kind of expensive though. It's ultra premium. I'm not messing around. Right now, it's probably close to 40 a bottle.
Wow.
I mean, what do you want me to do? If I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it, right?
So are they selling it in the nightclubs now or not yet?
It's in a few places, yeah. You know, we haven't pushed it as hard. We're going through a revamping process. We're using 3 different logos, but now we're going with a 4th, and we may actually change the name a little bit. And
Can we
possibly
order online?
Yes, you can order right now online.
Oh, perfect. That's a great time. Everybody wants to drink right now.
LA Water Vodka. Check it out. And then there's also sea water, which is it's a coconut CBD water. I have sparkling and flat. Yeah. There's water. Look it up. Check it out. Tastes pretty good, and it mixes very well with vodka.
Great. And then do we have your website and do you have a website you post everything, or is it mainly Instagram?
Everything I'm doing right now is through my Instagram.
Okay.
And my and also my what is it? I got Instagram, I got Facebook, and
got everything.
Snapchat a little bit, but the new one,
Twitter?
TikTok.
What about Twitter?
TikTok and Twitter, yeah.
You're
Everything
too
is
old for
Cyrus.
TikTok, Cyrus.
Okay, I got some dance moves. Gotta have it though.
No, that's cool.
Not gonna happen.
I'm going to get on TikTok just to see you and just see your dance moves. I thought I was
No, you
too
won't
old for
see.
TikTok, but now if you're doing it, I'm going to think I have a pass.
I mean, it's business. That's all.
If someone says
just
to
a
me,
glimpse
Cyrus
into
is
that.
doing it, so I can do it. That's going to be my pass.
Are you calling me older than you? By at least 10 years. Anyway, yeah.
Cyrus, thanks so much for coming on and hanging out with us.
No, thank you. This is always fun. Anytime you want me to come on, I'll go on. Or I'll be calling you when my new stuff drops, so you can get the 411 before anyone else.
Nice. And if I would remember, I want to be on Fear Factor. So if you go back to casting for Fear Factor,
You know, the guy that was a PA on my show actually wrote and started Fear Factor.
oh, really?
Matt Kunitz. Yeah.
I know that's always been like a little dream of mine, is to be on Fear Factor. Out of everything that's out there, that's what I've always wanted.
Well, hold out for the $1 million one, because it's $1 million now.
Oh, nice.
And if I get
I better
you on, I
start
expect-
practicing unlocking underwater.
If you get on, I expect my cut too. Okay.
Oh, for sure.
I've never done that, but I started this consulting company where I consult people that want to be on shows, and I consult product placement, and I also will get you situated where you like to be in the entertainment industry.
I love how this
So
comes up at the end. You're like, oh yeah, by the way, I do this as well. I mean,
I do so many different things. What am I supposed to do? There's more. I just don't talk about everything.
But that's
You know?
really important, and that's completely like you're the expert on that. So
I guess you call it that. I mean, to me, it's just like casting your life. So I'm a life caster. I put people in situations where they can be successful, and that's right where I want to be. So a lot of people don't understand what it takes or how to move to get themselves in that position, and I've been there and done that, and I'm in the process of reinventing myself now. And during reinvention, you always want to give back a little bit, and so that's an easy way to give back. So I'm doing I pair different brands up with different celebrities and vice versa, and get them kind of situated in where they want to be.
well, thanks so much, Cyrus. I appreciate you coming out.
Thank you too, girl. I will talk to you soon. Y'all hit me up, Cyrus MTV, on all social media platforms. Deuces. All right, yo. Later.
Thank you guys for tuning into the Sparkle Show. Remember, here every Thursday at 4 on Mad Talk TV. Here is how you follow us on every platform. Thanks, guys.